This is Dan King with DC by Foot, and we're going to tell you some stories, tell you about the history of the cherry blossoms, and let you experience it all from the comfort of your home. Behind me is, of course, this beautiful Tidal Basin, which a lot of people wonder about. What the heck is the Tidal Basin? And the Tidal Basin was actually, well, the idea from it came from about the late 1800s. The Potomac River was getting exceptionally silted up, especially because of farmers out in Maryland. So they needed a way to flush Washington Channel, which is sort of a little part of the Potomac River. And they decided to basically build this tidal basin that would literally capture the water from high tide on the Potomac River. Potomac River, of course, is connected to the Chesapeake Bay, so it is tidal. It has high tides and low tides. And at low tide, that whole area behind me, up to and around where the Lincoln Memorial is today, was just a disgusting, swampy mess. So part of the plan was to extend the National Mall from the Washington Monument all the way down to where it is today at the Lincoln Memorial, and to create this basin, this tidal basin, to collect that extra water during high tide, and then use that to flush the Washington Channel at least twice a day with the extra water built up in there. Now, as they're building this, they didn't call it the Tidal Basin at first. It was actually going to be called Twinning Lake, after the Army Corps of Engineers general who was in charge of the project at that time. But it becomes known as the Tidal Basin because you can see the high tides and the low tides very dramatically here. Sometimes it can be about 6 feet off of the water where it is today, actually flushing out some of these endangered cherry blossom trees, so that's not great either. But they complete the Tidal Basin, and at first it was actually a segregated beach. Right around the 1920s, Congress authorized monies to create a segregated beach. There was going to be another beach added for everyone else, but some senators decided to block that. And that actually became a controversy around the idea of planting these cherry blossom trees. Many people did not want to give up the cherry blossom trees that had been planted here in the 1920s when they were constructing the Jefferson Memorial, which is just sort of off to our right, your left over there. So they wanted the beauty of the cherry blossom trees around the tidal basin. If you ever visit Tokyo, Japan, or other places in Japan, cherry blossom trees are usually right on the water, and there's a beautiful sort of Zen Buddhist mythology around them, how they gracefully sort of dip their branches into the water, and the reflection of them is quite beautiful, especially with the petals dropping off into them. So that's why we wanted to have the cherry blossom trees all around here. The plan to block construction of the Jefferson Memorial obviously did not go through, but probably one of my favorite stories about the tidal basin and the cherry blossom trees are a group of well-to-do high society ladies. Is that what you would call them,
Oh,
Camden?
Definitely.
High society ladies, sort of here in their Sunday finery. They are outraged by this suggestion to rip up some cherry blossom trees to install this beautiful Jefferson Memorial. So they actually go through the effort of chaining themselves to the cherry blossom trees, basically daring the construction workers to forcibly remove them, which of course would be a terrible, terrible news cycle even back in the 1920s. So the construction foreman at the time was actually a pretty clever guy, and he decides to play nice with these very nice ladies, and basically continues to offer them snacks, offer them water, offer them tea as they're chained to these cherry blossom trees, and then continues to offer them water, offer them tea, make sure they're just okay. And then at some point, the sort of influx of water for these ladies, they needed to use the restroom, and they needed to unchain themselves in order to do that. So that is how the foreman sort of gracefully whisked them out of the way, and then obviously when they left did not allow them to return, and of course the Jefferson Memorial is built.